Good afternoon. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the show, Green Card Guys TV. Today's topic is my marriage case was denied. So what do I do now? What are my options? Okay, welcome to greencardguys.tv. I'm your host, John Ting, and I'm here to answer any your questions. Yes, just yesterday I mentioned that Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're welcome to join the studio. But if you'd like to join the studio today, I'm happy to invite y'all because I see Anu on YouTube has asked about that. But in general, of course, happy to answer any questions. But let me post a link here. So if you do want to join in the studio and ask more detailed questions, I'll try my best. But of course, keep in mind that anything you share here is not confidential, of course, because you're sharing online, right? So and it's all recorded. So just keep that in mind. But I'm happy to answer any questions. Now let's see here. and we appreciate that you consider us. But the first thing is that people, what they think about is, should I file an appeal or a motion to reconsider? And you do want to think about that because there is a short time period to respond to that, and it's 30 days. Yes, because of COVID, the pandemic, there is flexibility in terms of USCIS rules that say you can extend it for 60 days, but when you're watching this recording or this show, it could be updated. They could take that away. So keep in mind, check that out on the uscis.gov website. Now, with that being said, the reason why you do want to consider motion with that deadline, read the decision notice. Okay, that's very important because we do have some people that call in and say, "What does it say?" You really, of course, we're happy to explain it to you more detailed, but you really need to read it first so that when we explain it to you in more detail, then you can understand it, right? So, what you need to be most concerned about is if this is a marriage case, you get a denial letter, and it says specifically there is a finding of marriage fraud, you should be very concerned, very, very concerned. And in that scenario, you definitely want to speak with a lawyer because we've had other people call that received this type of notice like years ago, right? But maybe they did talk to a lawyer, they didn't get proper advice or something, or maybe they just decided they didn't have the evidence to overturn that decision, right? So this goes back to my other shows where I said you need to find the right match. Uh, when this require a marriage interview. If you entered America legally with a visa, you can have the interview here in America. Okay. There are scenarios where our law firm calls it golden tickets, where you have entered the United States without a visa and still have the interview in America. That is possible. That's not a guarantee for everyone. We call that an exception to the law, of course. But the default is that you have the interview in America. So with that being said, when you find the right match, you get married and all that, and you both talk about, your U.S. citizen sponsor or resident sponsor spouse file for you. You do want both people at the consultation with the lawyer. Or if you don't have a consultation with a lawyer, best of luck to you. But you want to make sure that the spouse, not the person, the spouse, the significant other knows that they have to attend an interview with you. Okay, so this is assuming I'm speaking to y'all who are foreign nationals, don't have immigration status right now. But I know some folks that have joined us are also U.S. citizens and residents. So keep that in mind because I know it might be awkward to share this. So that's another reason to have a consultation with the lawyer, right? So that you let us bring up the awkward type of topics. All right. So at least, that's one reason we offer a free 15 minutes because who knows? Maybe your spouse is like, I don't know, I got to pay a lawyer for a consult, which honestly is reasonable. Some lawyers I know charge between 150 to $200. I mean, I think I've seen even $300. My opinion, I don't think that's necessary. Um, I know that a lot of y'all just want information, right? So we also have the free guides on our website. On YouTube, I can share that with you, what that looks like. Okay. So on YouTube, it's that right there. That's our most popular guide. We also have several others. Trying to figure out this new layout here, but download that free guide on our website, and it contains common questions and answers. All right. And a step-by-step estimated timeline. It is not a guarantee of the how long each step will take, but it's just estimated based on a case experience. And unfortunately, by the way, if you're considering to file a fiance visa case, that tends to take the longest. Before the pandemic, it's intended to be the fastest, at least to get to America. But pandemic has changed things, unfortunately. Um, let's see. So going back to the question of the day, what my marriage case was denied. What do you do? What do I do? Okay. So you consider if you need to file a motion to reconsider or appeal. Okay. So you might wonder what's the difference. It really depends on the denial reason. I mean, look, there's sometimes people get denied for some ridiculous reasons, and regardless if it says marriage fraud or not. But for example, we have at least one client that did not show up to the interview. Okay. They represented themselves. They didn't have a lawyer, which is completely fine. I know some of you out there are representing yourselves, and I understand it depends on budget, but if you can't afford legal attorney fees, um, you might want to consider it, because if you want the smoothest way to get your legal status, I mean, I can't assume for other lawyers, but what we do here at Team Law Group is we have a quality control step, okay, to before we file any case, make sure everything's correct. We're not perfect. We could get something wrong, but we do have intentionally a checklist, okay? By the way, if you like reading books, Checklist Manifesto is a pretty good one to, that helped me learn about things like this, quality control, okay? So, but there are scenarios. Well, what if you may not need to file a motion to reconsider or appeal, which we would do that on an I-290B form. Okay, it's I think if I recall, it's about at least $675. So, but it's not really. You shouldn't make that decision based on the dollars, because that is a lower fee amount than if you refile the case as a whole. Now, typically, USCIS will not deny the I-130. Okay, because the I-130 petition is to establish that you're in a legal marriage, right? So, for example, if you were divorced before, that's not a problem, but you need to have the divorce order, and some of y'all don't have that. So that, and some of y'all, unfortunately, might have. There's some skepticism by USCIS, because in certain countries, they can actually, USCIS officers are pretty good. They can tell if it's legit or not. So just something to consider. What's up? Thanks for joining us. And by the way, if you're new to the show, welcome. Subscribe down below or follow us. And if you enjoy the way we share content, smash the like button and the hearts. We greatly appreciate it. And while you're at it, if you know any person, friend, colleague, neighbor that has an immigration question, or you may know that they're sponsoring someone or receiving a benefit in the future, please bookmark our video and share it with them, because these are, we're trying to solve your immigration problem with these shows, because I understand you might not have the budget to hire a lawyer, but maybe you do, and we want to help you get to that next step to get that legal status, because a lot of people that call us, they either don't know that there is a legal immigration problem, or they do know, but they have a difficult time taking that next step. So that's why we really look into consideration to sharing more and more information, share knowledge, whether it's on our website, YouTube, Instagram, so that you make the best decision for yourself. Because we hear a lot about unfortunate stories, whether it's just people calling into our office, schedule an appointment, or just other colleagues, okay, that have shared their own the common scenarios of problems. And unfortunately, there's a lot of them. Okay, so but for today, we're talking about marriage case when they're denied. And I know there's some questions out there. Happy to answer them. But yeah, if you're in a situation there is no marriage fraud finding, it most likely. I don't know about your specific situation. You need to consult with a lawyer. but most likely it's better to refile the case. So it's going to cost more money. All right. So 1760 if you have to refile with the petition. But for the most part, every time we've seen it where the 485 application was denied, the petition was approved. So I know that may seem strange. Some people have asked us that, but it's really because the petition is to make sure the marriage is legal, not that it's legitimate or bona fide or not, with fake or not. It's more about if you were divorced, if you had marriage before you were actually divorced, and verifying that. And one quick example, I represented a military veteran a couple years ago, and I recall that he thought he was divorced. And back when he was active duty, he had, I think he had depended on his spouse's lawyer, or assumed that the spouse had a lawyer and completed the divorce. Maybe he got served, maybe he signed a waiver of service document to complete the service part of the legal case for the divorce. But that does not mean that they got the divorce completed. So come to find out, petition was denied, or it just created a lot of problems. So that's a likely, that's an example of when a petition would be denied. But yeah, otherwise, if you got the petition approved, then you don't have to pay the $535 anymore. At least at the time of this show, that's how much it costs. And then it'll be $1225. So yes, $1225. That's going to be more cost to the government, Department of Homeland Security, than filing the 290B application. But please don't make the decision based on cost. It's really about what is better. And here's the key fact here. Here's the key thing. The key difference is that is everyone's concern. How long will it take? If you file I-290B application, I know we don't like we don't like the timetable on the USCIS website. It's ridiculous. You know, just the other day, I think yesterday our team was talking about for waiver applications, I-601. The week before it was 24 months, but now it's like 30 plus months. So there's like, they're playing with us every day, every week. It's changing just for the same application. So 290B, motion to appeal or reconsider, motion to reconsider, reopen to appeal. There is no timetable. So even worse. Okay. So that's the key difference. There is no mechanism to say, hey, you know, you got to get this case going. What's going on in my case? So it's better to just refile the application, the 485 application, to adjust status. Okay. This is, of course, if you're legally eligible to file this application, because some people get confused at the fact that USCIS accepts the application and mails you a receipt notice, mails you a receipt notice, because it can't be done online right now. They don't have that option. I don't know. We're in the 21st century. You would think they have that option. But anyways, I do see some questions. I'll get to that soon. Thank you so much. But there's no timetable. Okay. There's no estimated timetable for 290B. So it's very frustrating. For example, a client that was not able to attend an interview called in to the U.S. and unfortunately thought that the people working at the hotline, the customer service with USCIS, would take in that information and notify the local field office. So the client at the time wanted to file the 290B, because in some scenarios they're quick, but in most scenarios are not. So it's definitely been over a year, probably 2 years by now. So we decided to say, look, how about just refile the case? So we refiled it. All right. So sorry about my voice. I don't know why I always feel like I have a cough when I go live. All right. So that's something to really consider, because I know some of y'all filed a 290B or in this situation where you need to consider doing that. And you're like, what's the better decision, right? So because we get this question all the time. Now on YouTube, let me answer a question there, and I'll switch over to Instagram. Good morning, Anu. Thanks for, I said that I'll do the live shows. Yeah, so I'll do the live shows every day, Monday through Friday. But more intentionally, if you want to join the studio on YouTube, that would be at least Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I put in a link in case anyone wants to join on the YouTube or Facebook. All right, Anu, because I see you have a question. You're planning to go live in India. You have a VAWA filed. Does a 1-year prior date rule apply to VAWA too? Yeah, anything related to the preference category does include requiring to look at the visa bulletin. Okay, because you're saying you want to file for adjustment within that 1-year VAWA approval. Yeah, absolutely, you would need to do that, and you were planning to go to India. Yeah, there may be a lot more consideration you need to I'll take a look into, speak with a lawyer about to get the proper advice. Your other comment question, Abraham, I see your question. I'll get to that soon. Okay, Anu, you said you have a U visa file too. You're still waiting, no updates. Will U visa get terminated if you move to India? It does not. U visa process will still continue. The cases that will be a concern, a serious concern for immigration when it's still pending is asylum, right? Because you're not supposed to go to that country that you're fleeing, the country of nationality, if you file for asylum, or if you have a removal case, right? Because a removal case, how are you going to come back into America? So Anu, your situation is different, but your U visa case, we have plenty of clients where we file U visa and they're outside America. But of course, a crime has to have happened in America. All right, so let's see here. Abraham, since I see your question next on Instagram, y'all want to move apartments? Yeah, you can do that. This reminds me, we just updated our website to what's it called? Support ticket. So we're trying to be a little bit more advanced than USCIS. I hope you appreciate this, so we can provide better customer service. But submit a support ticket, okay? And what's it called? On our website, greencardguys.com. Okay, so I'll ask Jessica or one of our team members to email that link to you. Okay, so we wanted to make sure, because I realized through the years that we were able to get through these requests. So we'll take care of that for you, Abraham, or for any client, of course, for change of address. But if you don't have a lawyer and you have your own case filed, you can do it online. It's kind of annoying. So that's why these little things, we want to help our clients, because sometimes when we input it, like for some reason doesn't accept it. So that's why with the clients like Abraham, appreciate the request. After we complete it, we'll email you. Okay. Usually we'll screenshot it so you can see it, or if it's not a screenshot, we'll copy and paste the inquiry number so that you know that it's on file with USCIS. Okay. So that, yeah, changing address is not a problem with while your case is pending, but you do need to file it as soon as possible, especially if your case is closer to the interview date. Abraham, I think we filed yours, if I recall, end of January. So, but usually on average, and I know you're out of Houston area, usually on average is about 12 months. Okay, which if that's the case, January, we're getting to that point. So definitely, if that's the case, when it gets closer to that mark, in terms of timing, forward your address as well, in case for some reason, because there had been a couple times where on the USCIS, after we submit the change of address, even if it's a couple months before the interview, the interview notice will go to the old address. So, but the client was able to obtain the interview notice, and also our office would also obtain the interview notice. Which, by the way, Abraham, whenever you obtain that interview notice, or we do, and we email it to you, make sure that you schedule an appointment with us for interview prep. Okay, and what we do is we share to our clients, whoever picks the Pro or Max plan, we offer a video series or series of videos to prepare you for the interview, of course. And then after that, you're welcome to self-schedule an appointment. But we have a new client portal, a client page on the website, so that folks like Abraham, clients like y'all, can do that and can submit a support ticket. And the real thing, because the support ticket, we don't want to lose track of emails. No one likes emails. Smash a like button if you don't like emails. But I have to tell my team we love emails, so we can complete that customer service aspect for y'all. So that's why we created this support ticket, kind of like a tech company, right? Like if you go to any company, most of them do have that. All right, so I know I have another question here. That's probably the longest time I've talked about change of address. Isabella, let's see. Do you advise my husband to do the medical to get it over with and send in the 693 form with initial documents? Yes, I do. My advice has changed over the years because before the medical exam was only valid for 1 year, but they changed it, I believe, last year to be valid for 2 years. Okay, the 693 form. And I also suggest that you bring a blank copy of that form to the USCIS office. I'm sorry, to the medical office. Most medical offices will ask you to do it. And so that's part of a benefit of our office. Instead of you having to search online which medical clinic you to go to, because you can't just go to any medical clinic, unfortunately, or your doctor of choice. It has to be subcontracted, screened, vetted by the USCIS or Department of Homeland Security somehow. I don't know exactly how to do that, but yeah, it's not. You can't go to any doctor or clinic by on your own. I'm sorry, of your choice. So, anyways, but in every clinic charges differently. Other tip about that is you need to bring your shot records so that hopefully it could prevent you from taking more shots. I know that's a sensitive topic these days, the past 2 years. So, anyway, I recommend doing that, submitting that sooner. And usually these clinics take about 1 week on average to turn around and provide you the sealed envelope. Do not open it. If you want a copy of your medical exam, bring an extra copy or ask them for a copy of it. Okay. But do not open that sealed envelope. It has to be sealed when you mail in that package. Okay. Let me see. Ooh, a lot more questions here. Love it. Love it. Okay. Abraham, you said your apartment lease ends end of January. Okay. You got some time. Okay. So we'll wait on that. But and we'll in all the clients, if you are a client on our and you've joined us live here, welcome. We'll also email everyone up when the client portal is finally updated. It's in beta version right now, so people can y'all can still use it, but we're still improving it. Okay, so let's see here. By the way, another benefit of our office is that um, when you sign up on day one, we'll send you an email to onboard. Okay, on the same day, sign the contract, pay that deposit, and we'll share with you things that you need to do, things that you need to know to get your case so that we can file your case in a timely manner. Max plan 30 days. If you want to pay more for 15 days, we can do it. Some people are excited to get legal status, and we know that government takes a long time, but lawyers don't like to guarantee, but I can pretty much guarantee after speaking with several of my colleagues that they are not intentional of when to file your case. Now, please prove me wrong. If you have your own lawyer and they have filed in a time that they have told you that they're going to file in, that'd be great. I've talked at conferences with lawyers about this, and they're like looking at me like deer in headlights. They're like, "That's possible. I don't want to create a strain on my team." Of course, we really, for me, I try to consider my team capacity, but so far so good. We filed on time. No one's, we are not in a situation where we're in a situation where everyone's happy. All right. So you're welcome, Isabel. You're welcome. I know there was another question I thought in Instagram here above. Maybe I covered it. Okay. It was about the medical. All right. So back to YouTube. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And we do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion. And we do have a secret code that I'll share with you so you can unlock those free 15 minutes. And to do that, okay, on YouTube, I can share with you how to do that. And that is going to our website. All right. So on YouTube, you can see the benefit of watching on YouTube, but you go to our website, greencardguys.com, click on take quiz, answer a couple questions so our team knows better, a little bit more information. And then after you click that, click submit. As of now, you can self-schedule an appointment. But to be honest, there's been some people that no show. So we're getting to a point where we're going to stop allowing people to self-schedule because it seems like people who self-schedule tend to be the ones who no show. I could be wrong. There's no exact science on this, but we're gonna have a retreat with our team in about 14 days. Excited about this. It's gonna be fun stuff. We're gonna find ways to improve our customer service, even though I think it's the one of the best in America at least. But prove me wrong. Let me know. Let me know if we're not the best. Okay, Abraham. I hope you think we're good so far. If you're still on, there it is. There's that question I was looking for. V Ramos. What's the wait time on I-130 waiver? Okay, I think you mean the waiver itself, 601. Okay. Let me know if I'm wrong, but 601, we can take a look. Okay, I think I mentioned that a second ago. This question is on Instagram, so you don't have the luxury of seeing it on YouTube, but I share my screen on YouTube typically. You go to uscs.gov. Okay, click on tools on a top header. Scroll down for tools and resources. Of course, you could just Google search it and it'll show up processing times USCIS. Okay, click on case processing time. And let me see if I can share my screen on YouTube. And I know there's a couple more comments, questions on YouTube, so I'll get to that soon. But here it is on YouTube. Okay, so I can answer the question for. Oops. Okay, where to go? There it is. Okay, there we go. You click on the form. It doesn't show the drop down for you on YouTube, but I'm clicking on 601A. I'll look at both for you. Okay, V Ramos. But I think you mean a 601A form. I'm just gonna. These get processed at Nebraska Service Center and also Potomac Service Center. So let's look at both. Okay, 32 freaking months. This is ridiculous. I'm very disappointed at USCIS, but when there's disappointment, there are options. Okay, in this situation, there is really one option. Yes, you could submit inquiry. You could submit inquiry at the appropriate time that USCIS allows you to. So I can show you down here. So V Ramos, by the way, that 32 months was for Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska. So I'll share with you the Potomac one. But when is your receipt notice? So let's say V Ramos, you filed it 6 months ago. So it's November. It's basically December now. So let's just say June 1st, 2022. And you click on Get Inquiry Date. It says your case is processing normally, which is true. Before pandemic, average was 8 months to be approved, get a decision. Okay, 30 months. It says the earliest you can submit questions is May 30th, 2025. That is ridiculous. For you to just find out what the heck's going on with the case, you got to submit it after your inquiry, after May 30th, 2025. Now, this is specific for V Ramos situation. Okay, so it just depends when your receipt notice, but this is frustrating, folks. Okay, so even though this boils back down to when can I file a lawsuit against the government agency? In this situation, USCIS, we file a lawsuit against every agency related to your case anyway. But 32 months, that's ridiculous. So even though it shows online 32 months, or let's say 24 months, if based on our team's experience, if it normally takes, let's say 10, 12 months, we're not going to wait 32 months to file a lawsuit or to submit inquiry. Okay. That's not how we roll. Okay. We will recommend y'all to file a lawsuit, with our help, of course. Now, if you have your own lawyer and they do handle mandamus cases, go for it. Hire them, of course. I'm sure you're comfortable with them. We get a lot of calls of people complaining about their current lawyer saying, just wait, just wait, just go ahead and wait. Why would you do that? You could be stuck outside America. You could be stuck here in America, but you want to travel. You want life to go on. A lot of clients, we have a lot of calls we get about this. Okay. And you do not need to wait for the government. Okay. Because you just have to understand they do have a lot of cases that are filed, but at the same time, even cases that already had an interview are just sitting there. Okay. They're very unorganized. Okay. Don't think that just because USA is a world superpower, that they're efficient. They're not efficient with these kind of cases. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If V Ramos, I was going to look up the other one. Where'd it go? Okay, 601 again. 601A. I'm clicking on Potomac Server Center. Let's see what it says for 601. Oh man, y'all not gonna like this. Instagram folks, you can't see this, but it shows 38.5 months. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I see the hearts. Appreciate it. If you enjoy how we share information, very critical information for y'all. It's not always breaking news, but this is critical information that can help people decide whether to take the next step, like file a lawsuit, or just wait it out. Okay. But for the most part, a lot of people have to file a lawsuit, unfortunately. And keep in mind, it is a separate fee. So, and not every lawyer handles these lawsuits. Okay. Because, and please don't give them crap about it, because it takes more work, of course, but we really focus on this because we want to help you get to that next step so that you can live your life, travel, especially if you're here in America without status, then you can't leave, right? But I mean, I know in some situations you might be eligible for advanced parole, but most of you are not. So that's why you need to go to the next, take it to the next level. Okay. Now, okay, I see a question about. I'm gonna go over to appreciate the hearts. I'm gonna go over to Makan's question. I don't mean to. I had to skip to this real quick because I do remember Makan asked this question the other day, and I just didn't get to it. Um, yeah, I looked at this. Thanks, Makan, for this question. I looked at what I thought the case where you're looking referring to, and Makan, let me know if this is the correct case. But let me see if I can pull it up again. Matter of SOG. Let me see what you wrote. And FDB. I think this is the one I posted the other day about the Attorney General. Oh no, this is different. Okay. This is a bit different. Okay. Let me see if I can move it over here. I think I know what this is referring to. Okay, yeah. Let me share my screen here. I like to show the source. I know it's a little small. Here's lawyer lesson. Oh, that's too big. Oops. Does that work? Still too big. Okay, there we go. All right, that's a good size. Okay, this is a case from 2018 decided by Attorney General. This is before President Biden. Okay, so for folks that are still possibly want to learn about politics to some extent, who the president is very important, not just for the calmness of America, but also they can pick who the Attorney General is, right? And it affects all levels of immigration. And because Attorney General can essentially change the law, one person can change the law. Okay, doesn't require the president. After they get nominated and confirmed by the Senate, they're good to go. Okay, of course, it's directive by the president, but Attorney General can change the law. So even if the Board of Immigration Appeals says it one way, the Attorney General, just like Merrick Garland the other day, about a couple weeks ago, I just posted on TikTok and Instagram about this, is that Attorney General Merrick Garland had, I think this is what this affected right here. Okay. The law says that immigration judges may dismiss or terminate removal proceedings in certain circumstances. Okay. Fairly limited. So what, I'm scrolling down in this case. Okay. So, I believe what happened, if I recall, after this case, that immigration judges, if I recall, because this was decided when it was President Trump, that they did not, it's like they forgot what authority they had. They did not know in what circumstances they could close or dismiss cases. So that's why Merrick Garland just made his new decision, essentially changed it in general, and said that the judges have the authority to close or dismiss cases whenever there's relief available. Okay. So that's essentially it's formalizing more so the prosecutorial discretion when people have active cases or non-active, like this old, and they can get it dismissed from terminated from court. And court is also referred to removal proceedings. Okay, so Makan, I think it looks like your specific question is, can the BIA now reopen the deportation case, now we call removal proceeding case, I-360 approval? It is possible, okay? Not necessarily because of that specific case you're referring to that I had just on the screen, but it is possible, especially with PD available, prosecutorial discretion available at Department of Homeland Security, and the new directive, the new decision by Attorney General Merrick Garland, okay? If, you, if anyone has any questions about a similar to this, like Makan, let us know. Give us a call, all right? The phone number on YouTube is above, and also you can find it below on all the Instagram or YouTube. There's so many social media platforms, I'm losing track. Okay, so but anyway, you can find our numbers down below or right above on YouTube. And to Ivan, hopefully that answers your question about Khan. I know I can go way more detail, but that'll probably be more of a recorded video for later. Okay. Have I ever heard of a thanks Ivan for joining. Have I ever heard about MAVNI program, which allowed DACA, asylum, and TPS holder to obtain citizenship through Army? Okay, I wish it'd be reopened again. Unfortunately, stopped a few years ago. Yeah, from what I do remember it stopping a few years ago. It could have been under President Trump, maybe not, but yeah, typically I don't know why, especially with the whole like military, what do you call that? The military complex syndrome or something. Like we always have to feel like we're going to need to go to war or somehow participate. I don't agree with that. I do think that we need to be in certain areas of the world, but you would think that because Republicans are so gung-ho about that, complex military syndrome, whatever they call it, the experts call it, that they would allow immigrants, foreign nationals, documented or not, to join the military. Okay, so if that were to open up again, I'll definitely let you know. And let's see here. Definitely let you know, because I know a lot of people want to not just join the military, but of course use that as an opportunity to become a U.S. citizen. Now, let's see here. I'm looking at the ICE website about this. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me see if I can share my screen on this one. Okay, Ivan. So I'm at the ICE website. Well, Department of Homeland Security, studying the states section of it. What does MAVNI apply? Let's see. Okay. See, it says allow certain non-citizens. Let me see if we can make it bigger. Allow certain non-citizens who are legally present in the U.S. to join the military and apply for U.S. citizenship immediately without first obtaining lawful permanent residence. So you can skip it. Okay. But it's not inclusive for everyone. So that's why it's pretty annoying. It's pretty ridiculous. So I'll definitely record a video about this so you can have more information, but just so you have it. Okay, Ivan, I'm going to put it in the on YouTube or Facebook as a link so you can take a look at that. And y'all can, see if you want to join the military whenever that pops up. Okay. Let's see. So takeaway for those that are just joining, and the question for the day is, my marriage case was denied. What can I do? What should I do? There's one of two things. Okay. You can refile the case, or you can file an appeal or motion reconsider I-290B form. Do not make a decision based on the filing fee, okay? Because the I-290B is about half the cost of refiling the case itself, like the 485 application. Don't make the decision based on that, please. I know some of y'all might make a decision about fees when you're choosing lawyers. I really suggest you make the decision based on who, number one, is qualified, because there's a bunch of lawyers, but also comfort level, personality, the personality match, in the sense that you can get along, do the benefits that you want, such as like being able to self-schedule appointment, which we provide. It's on our website, but also other things. How sooner is a case going to be filed for you? Do you know that? I'm always interested if other law firms offer that. Even though I speak at legal conferences about it. Hey, what's up? Appreciate it. Welcome. Okay, so that's the takeaway, folks. And I'm going to share the secret code now. If you're not familiar with it, let's see here. Here it is. Okay, on YouTube, Facebook, you can see it. Those are the 5 minimum benefits we offer. The secret code is Green Card Guys. You could have guessed it. So use that code to schedule an appointment with our team. And our associate attorneys are qualified and can help you. Okay. You might not be having a consult with me. Of course, if you want one specifically with me, you want guaranteed spot with me, you do have to pay a certain consult fee on our website, greencardguys.com. And I do remember we have one more question at least. You're welcome, Ivan. Let's see here. I think this is the question right here that I missed earlier. Anu, how long can I stay in India on U visa? On a green card, can I stay only 6 months? Well, in general, you can be outside America when you have a U visa case pending. But when you have a green card, let's see your question. Yeah, green card in general. If you have resident status, you can, and you want to maintain your resident status. This is a great question. Most people forget this, especially during the pandemic, because they stayed outside America for more than 6 months. If you stay outside more than 6 months, it's okay to an extent, but you need to have a legal reason. And a legal reason is not every reason, okay? A legal reason that qualifies for you to maintain your status, okay? So the most common one that is, I hate to say it this way, but we have calls about this, like you need cancer treatment or you're helping someone else, a family member, being with them when they have cancer and going through treatments. So something pretty serious like that, right? It's not just that. I got this question one time, I think last month, and that was they said that they had to stay outside America because their job said so. Look, the American government will say, USCIS will say, no one said you had to work at that job. You could have applied somewhere else and work. You need to follow the immigration law, right? So you don't want to show that you have possibly abandoned your status. If you think that you're going to be outside America for more than 6 months, just an inkling idea, you need to apply for re-entry permit. Okay, that's very important. I-131, same thing, same form for advanced parole, travel document. Okay, and you would think this is something that's rubber stamped. You can get the approval like next week after you apply. That's not the case. I'm very sorry. Sometimes it takes like 4 to 6 months on average. Okay, and some people ask like, well, do I need to be in America while after I filed the I-131? Preferably yes, because after you file it, there's a biometrics appointment. Okay, I don't know why they need to do that, but they do. Okay, because typically when people file for reentry permit, they already have your biometrics. You would have probably filed it, requested this document, filed this application after you get your green card anyway. So anyway, that's a suggestion, especially folks that have to work outside America during while you have resident status. Now, it's also to maintain your status for the purpose of becoming a U.S. citizen. All right, so there's really 2 reasons: maintain your status in general, so you don't abandon it. Okay. The second thing is you want to become a U.S. citizen, whether you have resident status for 5 years, you can apply. But if you got your status originally through your spouse and you're still married to that person, the person's still the right fit, then 3 years, then you can file to become a U.S. citizen after 3 years. Now, keep in mind the 3 and 5 year mark, by the way, hot tip, you can actually file it within 90 days before that time period. So most people don't know that. So you don't have to wait an extra 90 days. It's kind of strange. I don't know why they actually do offer that. But hopefully that helps. Okay, folks. All right. Well, until next time, friends, we greatly appreciate it. And stay tuned. We'll see. Today's Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Take care now.